Hi there. Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Rao coming on to you with my daily series on wellness tips. A tip a day on wellness. Today is the day uh, 9th, and we're going to talk about simple meditation. Okay, um, that's kind of very simple thing. It's like a Ancient Wisdom for Modern Wellness series. I had written the book on that, but the meditation is a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to take as though somebody is not familiar with the meditation, and we'll start from there, and then go to the advanced levels as time permits and as people need them. Right. So it's a question of really going from ABCDs all the way to the university degree in meditation, right? But we may not go all the way, but at least we'll start like that. The important thing about this series is it's not going to be exhaustive study or lectures and all that. It's more like introducing a tip that they should be doing. So remember, we started with gratitude. Almost everybody talks about the gratitude. And then yesterday we did herbal harmony, the teas, herbal teas, how they can help, how they can start. I myself start very simple thing in the morning. The ginger, hot water, a tinge of lemon, and then take it out from the boiling water to let it cool down. Then mix up some honey, and that's my morning tea. And ginger itself is a very good appetizer, and I use that. Okay, so instead of caffeine, instead of theophylline and all that, we can use this herbal tea. That's what we talked about yesterday. Number of herbal medicine and a number of the uh, the number of philosophies and ideas that were involved in herbal medicine from Ayurveda. We understood what are the important things that we should be considering the energies, all that, right? And today we're going to go more like how we can start this ancient wisdom for modern wellness. Most important thing with the way we are going with information age, the way we are going with a lot of data, right? Many of the people are really overwhelmed by the data that we are getting all the time, right? Information too. So I have been talking about information overload, brain fog, overwhelm, stress, and burnout for about since 1985, but more so particularly on this information overload, uh, 2008, because I've been a meditator for a long time, and now uh, I have a stage where meditation is natural for me. That means I am in the meditative awareness all the time and use my thought to do my stuff consciously. That's what I do. So I may not go that deep, but I will just go from the important things that we should start and then improve on that. Simple thing is start small. Start small because that is something very easy for you to do. Okay, um, small means short period of meditation. Okay, or just pay attention to what you are doing. That would be the beginning. So you can start like a in the morning, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes and all that. And then you should be maintaining the consistency daily, right? If you do that, that consistency is very important for you, right? Same time, same place, the same thing is very important, and also uh, record some sessions that me or somebody else, anybody who is doing a guided session. That means you can sit down with them, you can breathe with them, you can listen to what they are telling you to do and do that. Okay, that is the guided meditation. And then, like I said, have a dedicated space for that. So if you go to that room, like I have a room dedicated for meditation, so when I go and sit there, immediately that atmosphere comes up. So dedicated space is very important if you can afford it, And then in the daily activities, whatever you are doing, pay complete attention. People call it mindfulness, but I call it awareness. Okay, mindfulness is something is supposed to be empty of the mind, but some people think it as though you have to pay a complete mind with full of material. That's not so. And then breathing. Obviously, breathing is very important. As you sit down, as you close your eyes and close your mouth and take deep breaths in and out, and just focus on that. And be there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you could. But initially, you may not be able to stay even for 30 seconds or 15 seconds. That's okay. Start there, but then be consistent daily at the same time, same space. If you can afford, go and do that. Okay, that's the simple thing about it. Now, why do we have to have this kind of routine? Is if you don't really have control of the thought and you let the thought go wherever it wants to go, with so many other impulses coming to you, so much of input from so many information sources coming to you, your mind can go all over without really having the concentration or focus that you need to enjoy things and also to do things. So even for the relationship, you need some concentration and focus, right? To do all that, the mind has to be trained. Just like the body needs training, mind also needs training. That is what is missing in modern times, because people think, oh, if I do so many things, then I'll be much more productive. Not so. If you do some things haphazardly and half-heartedly, then that doesn't get done very well. So it's as simple as that. So what the recommended routine I always talked about is when it starts from the time you get up in the morning. Actually, it starts the night before, but we'll come to the night at the end. So in the morning, when you get up early if you can. If you're not, if you whenever you get up, just pay attention to what is going on around you. Be in the present. Be aware of what is going on with the life around you, the plants, the animals, the pets that you have, the people you have, all that, right? And then sit down and take 10 deep breaths and then go into your exercise routine or walking and all that, really being attentive to everything that you do. Okay. And then when you come back, have a good breakfast. When you go to work, pay attention to everything. Even on the commute, you can be very mindful of your breathing and mindful of what's going on. That's a good way to practice. You can practice meditation sitting down, walking, or lying down, or commuting on a train or a bus. Wherever you have a chance, you can do that. Okay. Then once you are completely attentive during the work, you can come back in the evening and do another session there. Okay. So these kind of attention to every action is very important, very, very important for people. So if you can do that, then that goes into your own focus and concentration of the whatever work you are doing, and you do that very well, and thereby you will be able to uh, really get the most out of whatever you are doing. Okay. And you will not have wastage of energy because you are not fighting two different things. You are not thinking about something and doing something. That's a conflict of thought. That's a wastage of energy. Or you may be thinking something negative about something you are doing, and you will be wasting your energy on the negativity more. So don't waste your energy by engaging in so many thoughts, but be aware and attentive to the movement that you are doing. And then when you come home, You again go through the whole process of being aware of the breath, being aware of the thoughts, and then um, really unwind whatever is not needed for you or whatever is done. This is an exercise I recommend to many of my doctors and nurses because I want them to come home and review what has happened the whole day. Many people are not reflecting on what has happened. So once you go through the review of all the reactions that you had through the day, then bury whatever is trivial, just get rid of them from your mind. And what is important, write them down and then forget. And then go as much as possible empty mind by doing this exercise. And in the morning, you again get up and you start with being aware again. So this is a good routine for a meditative mind. To get the meditative mind, you got to be establishing yourself in the present moment, connection with your breath and connection with your thought and all that. So it takes a lot of time to achieve all these goals. They're not that simple, as I said. So, but first of all, you have to have an intention that I want to have a focused mind. I want to have a mind that deals with one thing at a time and in the present. If you live in the present, you are living in the life. But if you live in your mind, then you are in the past or in the future. It's as simple as that. Okay, but to be aware that I am in the mind, to be aware that I'm away from the present into the past or the future, it takes a lot of the time, right? Because the thought is so mercurial. It comes and gets its own network very quickly, and then you cannot excrete yourself from that network. So this is a very important tip, but I hope you guys have been doing that. If you are doing that, come and tell me about it. And if you have any questions about any processes that I talked about very quickly, you could come and talk to me about that too. Basically, a lot of people are doing this after they had problems with their own work or life or relationship, all that. So people don't understand what is the efficient way to think, what are the thoughts that we could really understand and then change them from negative to positive. How can we stay in that joyful energy when the thoughts are subsided and you're quiet? Okay. Happiness itself is, you have to understand the desire, you have to understand the dissolution of desire. Whenever there is a desire is not there and you don't have the hesitation, you are happy. But that's a bigger topic. That's another way. But basically, understanding the thought, understanding the thought resolution, understanding using thought properly, consciously, that's all important. That all starts with I want to quiet my mind. I want to slow my mind. I want to replace my negativity with positive. Those kind of intentions, if you have, then you will be able to really understand mind movement and understand how to control it. If you don't do, and if you just leave it unconsciously, then all the thoughts that come in some of them will escape into your subconscious and they come back. So they never leave you. So you will not have that emptiness, the silent mind, the still mind that I was talking about, unless you have worked with the thoughts, right? Once you understand the thoughts and the knowledge of the thoughts, and you know how to control the thought, then you really end up in what's called Swarupa Gnana. That means your own real self-knowledge. Once you are in the self-knowledge, instead of being in the mind, you will be in the self that is known as energy. And once you are in that, you don't have this movement of thoughts. If you have movement of thoughts, you cannot see who you are behind that. But if you see them and then control the thoughts, then you can see who you are. That soul energy, the self energy, that is the one you want to stay there and work from everything. So this becomes what is the mind? What is the intellect? The mind is our likes and dislikes and all that. Okay, but intellect is a discriminating faculty. So it kind of determines what is good for us, what is long term for us, what is going to be there in the long run. So we want to make everything after discriminating and bringing the discrimination into the fold, not reacting just because we like something, we don't like something. Somebody says, immediately reacts. That is the mind. You don't want to be victim of that. You want to be taking a time and reflecting on what is the understanding you have about the world, about everything, and how is that understanding tell you. That is the buddhi we talk about. That is the intellect that tells you this is not right, this is right. So do this right. That takes a little bit time. Take a little bit of time. All these manipulations or whatever you can do with the mind comes with the ability to not be led by the thoughts, but thought is under your control. Okay, so this is a big topic. This is you can go as long as you want, but then one side talking is fruitless, because if you guys have any questions, come and submit to me. Otherwise, DM me and I will be able to answer you. Otherwise, I'm here for a few more minutes. You can come. It's now 8:19, so at least another 10 minutes I can be here and tell you about important. For myself, when I was getting educated as a physician, we were told you got to study a lot and you got to think a lot. And so nobody told us what is there beyond thought. Okay, modern sciences also did not say anything about that. But yes, we all know we have feelings, we have instincts, we have sixth sense that we have, right? So intuition we have. So there is a brain that has all these so many stimuli come from either from the past or from the atmosphere we have, right? So then what happens is they initiate a reaction from us, and that reaction is usually instinctual, usually very quick, and that is the mind we're talking about. But if you react from the initial like and dislike reactions, you may do something you may regret later. You may say, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But if you take a time and step back from the mind into your intellect, your discriminating capacity, then you'll be able to respond, not react, right? Once you have that, then you can really act for the long-term use. That is, what is good for me in the long run? What's good for me for the bigger society? What's good for the whole earth? Like that, once you expand your understanding, that expansion of understanding is the one that should be working on. And once you are mature like that, then you'll have a very steady, tranquil life, and also you will be able to make decisions in a much better way. You have to experiment and see that. Look at your own mind. Sit down for a few minutes. Close your eyes. Turn your mind inward and look at what kind of thoughts you are having on a continuous basis. What kind of feelings you have. What kind of memories you have. What kind of imaginations you have. So you kind of studying your own mind. That part of yoga branch is called Raja Yoga. That is yoga of king of yogas. Okay, so the whole thing of yoga purpose is to really turn inward and realize our real self, real nature, right? So for that, they have said you got to stop the superficial thoughts, all of them. Then you will go to the depth of yourself, and then you will be looking at your real nature, which is kind of very joyful, blissful, and also very steady peace. Peace, joy, and bliss, all these things are there within us. And once we stop our superficial mind, we'll be able to contract that. And that is very invigorating, very good too. The purpose of yoga is to stop all these varying thoughts and then go beyond and find out who you are. Otherwise, you will be led by whatever thoughts come to you, and then you'll be doing all of that. That's the way it goes, right? So if you understand that, or if you don't understand that, at least realize calming the mind twice a day, every day, is needed in this present era of information. And you can use the technology, you can use other things, but you have to have an exercise where you sit down quietly and then deliberately attempt yourself to quiet your mind, calm your mind. And that has immense health benefits, immense peace and quiet and joy and bliss that is possible. That's possible within us, and that will come out just like a sunshine. It's called self-luminous. So people may dismiss them as nothing, but actually, if you look at the trend, people were not meditating earlier, but then now they are introduced to the meditation. More people are taking it over, and more people are using to find peace and quietness, and then also some kind of joy, and then reduction of the stress, uh, helping themselves to cure headaches or insomnia and all that, and also really get rid of the stress that they are going through the job and all that. So there may be very superficial benefits. They are there. You can do that, but then don't miss out on the things that are important beyond the superficial practice. Okay, real practice involves where you start with ethical and moral life. You kind of condition your body and the energy in you, and then you withdraw the senses and focus your mind, and really touch that real self after the mind is quiet. Okay, that is the real yoga. Okay, everything else is towards that. Okay, so if you can understand that, then you can aim for it and you can go for it. So everybody is just doing superficial stuff. They can very well do it, but they are missing out something deeper. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so anybody wants to? I don't know this app. Oh yeah, it's working. Okay now. Okay, all right, it is working. So anybody wants to come up? Otherwise, I will be ending in a minute or so, because I don't want to go deeper unnecessarily unless people have needs for it, and also they want to listen to it and they want to try it, or they want to share their experiences. I have been through the stages where I didn't know anything about yoga and meditation, and then I kind of took it up because I was very stressed at the time of day. And then initially, I didn't know much about the combination of yoga, breathing, and thinking. But then once the coordination has come, then I was able to really focus on breathing and focus on my thought. And so I was in awareness of both of them. Once you are aware, then you can use the thought in a constructive, conscious way. Then the thought becomes your slave, not you become the thought's slave, right? And then once you establish in the awareness, that's a beautiful, silent, peaceful, blissful joy, right? Once you ended with that, you don't need anything really, and then you don't allow this, unnecessary fluctuation of thoughts. Okay, and then once you go there, then you can talk to people, but not disturbed by that. You can do stuff, not disturbed by them, and then you can sleep better. You can do things better. You have quality in your work and all that. So innumerable benefits, and the most important thing for everybody is you will be very well for a long time, and also you can take the end of life issues also very easily. That means you are not threatened by the death. So all those things are multitude of things that are there. But basically, I started this app, Wisdom, it used to be the name. First talk I said, self-realized people are the healthiest people. Self-realized of the true nature are those people that are the healthiest. Okay, because your self nature is beyond your mind, so you don't have that movement of thought. Movement of thought is the one that produces all the stress hormones to you. So if you want to be rather stress-free life, rather very healthy life, rather blissful and peaceful life, and meditation and going beyond meditation is very important. Okay, so that is what I would do. If anybody is up, I will be stay here. Otherwise, I will hang up in a minute or so. This app is supposed to be for discussion, so I don't want to be doing lectures. Rather, I'm inviting people to talk and present their viewpoint too. So. But if you are satisfied just to listen, that's fine too. Okay. I'll see you again tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock with another tip. Thank you. Bye bye.